Thank you, Porg, and good morning, everyone. I hope you can see my slides now. So I'm going to very briefly talk about one aspect of our new programme validation and review processes here in TU Dublin, which have changed significantly from the processes that we previously would have employed in the former three institutes that Porg mentioned. And these processes have changed predominantly because of our new quality framework, as we call it, and our organizational design. So when I say quality framework, what we're really talking about is all of our quality assurance and enhancement processes, our academic policies, and also our academic regulations, which we've been developing over the last 3 years and are now almost complete. And I should note as well that when we set on this path almost 3 years ago, we didn't take the approach that we would just merge our 3 existing systems. We set out to take advantage, I suppose, of the opportunity of building a new university and start from scratch. So building quality framework from scratch, developing new processes, policies, and regulations. And of course, our quality framework is informed by reflecting on our current and our past experiences, but there are also other factors that have, which are shown here, that have informed the development of this quality framework, including the objectives of a technological university, and also obviously national and European policy and guidelines. But the first major, I suppose, stage in the development of our quality framework was the approval of a set of underpinning principles. And these principles, and 3 of them in particular, 3 highlights here, led to substantial changes from our current policies and processes and regulations. This was new, this was going to be different, and it was going to be a change for everyone. And I could talk about all of these 8 principles at length, and particularly those 3 highlighted, but it's the quality enhancement principle that I'm going to talk about today because it's most relevant to our program validation and review processes. So what we tried to do, and what we have attempted to do, and we hope we have been successful in doing, is set out to develop processes that would foster and support a quality enhancement culture across the university, and that our stakeholders would see value in our quality assurance and enhancement process, and they would eagerly engage in them because they would see them as leading to enhancements, and that could be at program level, school level, or faculty level. So to do this, though, it's easy to say you focus on quality enhancement. We found it far more difficult to realize this on the ground. And to do that, we had to make a fundamental or significant change in the university's organizational design and structure process by establishing a new academic affairs function that brings together what we believe are the essential elements in order to really implement and see, on the ground, evidence on the ground of this quality enhancement culture and how you support quality enhancement processes across schools and programs. And again, I could talk about many elements of this at length, but the most significant part and relevant part today is that we brought together what would be traditionally seen as a quality assurance office and brought this and merged this with the learning, teaching, assessment support units, such as the Learning, Teaching, Technology Centre, formerly in DIT. So this is new, it's a new concept, and we've brought them together. And I'm just going to very briefly try to give an example, a simplistic example, albeit, of what this would look like on the ground. So if we look at a program review process, one shown here, as I said, a very simple view of it. Within the review process itself, a program review process, a school would prepare the documents for a review as per the quality assurance policies, which would include usually a self-study or self-evaluation. A panel will then evaluate that program, and by reviewing the documentation and meeting with stakeholders, students, staff, and so on, the outcome is usually a set of conditions or recommendations, and these are addressed then by the school through an action plan, and then a response follows, and the process continues, and it's a cyclical process. What we would see traditionally is the quality assurance office is involved in managing and supporting the review process itself, and also ensuring the response to the panel's outcome is appropriate and is approved then at a relevant committee. But the QA office wouldn't traditionally be involved in it outside of those processes. But what we've done with our new academic affairs structure and our quality framework is we can now integrate these things together and have the learning and teaching assessment supports within the same process. So if you were to look at a program review or program validation or accreditation process now, it's no longer just a QA process. It's more about quality enhancement. It's more focused on the pedagogical aspects of programs and dealing with strategic issues, pedagogically strategic issues, such as some of them mentioned already this morning, like academic integrity, authentic assessments, and so on. So this new holistic approach, I would call it, essentially means that we can parachute in appropriate learning, teaching, and assessment supports and training as needed as part of the, in this case, the program review process, leading up to the preparation of the documentation and leading up to the panel, and also after then to help address any recommendations or conditions that the panel set. Again, the support is there for the schools and for the staff involved and for the academic staff, and even if we would have this very much involved with the students as well in the whole process. So in this way, we can continue looking for ways to enhance and develop the program. And I suppose from our perspective, what this has meant, the big change is that from the Learning Teaching Technology Centre, from the Learning Teaching Assessment Support Unit's perspective, it's no longer the self-selecting people choosing to engage in those activities. It's no longer something that you can do if you're interested or if you're an early adopter. It's now integrated into the quality assurance and enhancement processes. So I'll conclude by just noting that this new approach to quality enhancement by merging QA and learning, teaching, assessment, support and development will also be used through the program validation accreditation process and also our new annual quality enhancement process for programs. Thanks, Park.